Hey, let's take a quick look at where we are and how we got here. Right, so here we have a political world map. It's a pretty standard map, and if we take a look at this, then we can see where we started on the 10th of October 2013. That little beautiful country there, that is Denmark, that tiny speck in the northern part of Europe. Okay, so I went with a train, and mostly by trains throughout Europe, and covered a lot of countries in Europe, and eventually got to Moscow in Russia and across the Nordic countries as well. And then we came across the North Atlantic, and I did that on 7 different boats and ships, and I did that in the winter time, which wasn't really all that smart. But it was on fishing boats and shrimp trawlers and container carriers, and eventually we got over to a new continent. We got to North America, first Canada, then US, then Mexico, and then from Mexico down through Central America, and then we got from Panama on a boat into Colombia, because there's no land connection, or there's a land connection, there's no road between. And then we had the 12 countries here in South America, mostly buses, a little bit of boating up here in the Amazon up to Manaus, and then we got up here close to Venezuela, but then we went into Guyana, and we got to Suriname, and then came back and went into Venezuela, so we got to Trinidad, making that the first of the Caribbean islands. Then we went up the island chain, up here and up here and up here, got back to the US, and then eventually we got on a container ship that brought us back across the Atlantic Ocean. So, I entered Africa from Spain and into Morocco. And if we take a closer look at this giant continent, then I prepared something for you here. Boom! Wow, how clever is that? Okay, so that is Africa. Over here, just to give you some idea, you have the Suez Canal. And ships, they pay upwards somewhere around $500,000 US to go through. And you think that's a lot of money. But the consideration is that if you didn't pay, then you would have to come around Africa and go this way. And to go all the way around Africa is equal to going once around the planet. So you're saving a trip around the planet by paying to go through here. Anyway, we started in Morocco, we went through Western Africa, got into Central Africa. Central Africa was a very, very hard part for me to come through. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of difficulties, a lot of authorities. Also a lot of nice people, good food, and nice weather. Eventually got down to Southern Africa, which was quite easy. And then up to Eastern Africa, and then we went out into the Indian Ocean and came back into Eastern Africa and made our way up here north, and then got from Sudan and into Egypt. Then recently I got on a container ship from Egypt to Malta, which is even smaller than Denmark, a tiny, tiny speck right there. Okay, so the reason why I didn't just go into Libya is because you can't really cross the border right now because of safety concerns. The border here with the Mediterranean, or the coastline here with the Mediterranean, is about 2,000 kilometers. So it's a huge, huge country, Libya. And it's not advisable to try to cross Libya right now, especially not when you look like I do. So I got on a boat, I made my way to Malta. Now I'm trying to consider if there's any way I can go by boat to Libya anywhere, or if I should go directly to Tunisia and then try to cross from Tunisia. It's generally not advisable to go to Libya these days. It's a little bit of a difficult country, and you would be risking your life if you do so. So I have a lot going on in my mind right now. I'm trying to work out exactly how I'm going to do things. It's quite tactical to be in Malta right now, because Malta is a part of the EU, it's a European country. And I'm a European citizen, so that's just brilliant for me. So I'm going to hang out here for a bit, then eventually we're going to take the last 3 countries within Africa, which is Libya, Tunisia, and Algeria. And we're going to see how that's going to go. Yep. So that's the current situation. Thank you for following the saga. Let's see what's going to happen next.